Hey, this is Mr. Willis, and I'm going to show you how to do some transitions and animations in Google Slides. So, I've got a slide set up here with a background picture, a picture of a map in the foreground, and a little text box up here. And let's get some motion going on. So, I'm going to go to the word slide up at the top of my screen here in my menu bar. And then underneath slide, I'm going to choose change transition. And when you do that, it's going to bring up this little animations tab over on the right side of your screen. Right now, my slide has no transition. That means that when the slideshow's playing, it just shows up. If I click on the drop down here, you see we have some different options. I think I'm going to try the gallery one. And then you'll also notice after you've done that, you can adjust the speed of it. I'll leave it where it's at right there for now, but you can make it faster or slower if you want. And then to test it out, I'm going to push play. And you'll see that just makes it look like that. So now when the slideshow transitions from this first slide over to this one, you saw how it does that little movement thing, which is pretty cool. Once you've checked it out, you need to hit the stop button. So don't forget that, because you can't click or do really anything else until you hit that stop button. And that kind of unlocks everything. If you really like that transition, you can hit this button right here, apply to all slides. That puts that transition on all 3 of your slides over here, or however many you have. Or if you want, you could click on each individual one and select a different transition for each one. That is absolutely up to you. Okay. Now, one more thing while we're here is you can also animate individual objects on the slide. So you'll see how I have this picture of the map. I want this map to kind of fly in separately. So what I'm going to do is first, of course, click on it so that you can see it's selected here with the little blue squares. And then over here in my animation panel, I'm going to go to Add Animation. So I click on that. I have some animations to choose from. I think I'll do zoom in for this particular one. And this on click, you'll see I have a choice here of on click, after previous, with previous. That just means when do you want the animation to happen. If it's on click, then the animation won't happen until you push a button to make it happen. If it's after previous, that means it'll happen right after the previous thing happens. So like right after the slide kind of flies in with that gallery transition, then it would happen automatically. With previous means it would happen like right at the same time. I'm just going to leave it as on click. Okay, I'll leave the speed right like that. And to test it out, I'm going to hit play. And so you'll see it does my little slide end of the slide, but notice there is no map of Scotland on there until I push a button. Like usually the button you can push is just the arrow keys, or you push the space bar basically to make it keep going, and that made the map slide in separately. Okay, so you see kind of how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And if you like what you've got there, you're basically good to go. If you want, you could even add more. Like I'll add one more animation to this. I'll have the words, because you can have text box slide in as well. This one, I think I'll have it maybe fly in from the top. Okay, and I'll do this one on click as well. Oh, and by the way, now that I have a few different ones set up, you see that I have the zoom in and fly in. I can actually flip these back and forth depending on which one you want to appear first. But here's how I have it right now. I click play. First the slide appears. Notice no text or anything this time. The map zooms in, and then the words drop down from the bottom. All right, so those are transitions and animations, a very cool way to kind of make things look fun. Oh, and before I go, I almost forgot. I'm going to hit stop here. To see what the whole slideshow looks like with all these transitions, you can go back to the very first slide and then hit this present button up top, and that will actually make it go full screen, kind of like that. You've got some arrow buttons down here to move, or I like just using the arrow keys on my keyboard. And so you'll see how it moves forward, and there's all the cool little animations that I've put on that one. And I had a different transition that I put on that last one, so it makes everything look kind of cool. All right, enjoy.